Welcome Year 7 and Year 8 to Lesson 7 of our migration topic, looking at the big question, why did people migrate? Our title today is What Role Has Money, the economy, played in migration to and from Britain? And our two key words are slum and famine. And as usual, can you write down the title and then the key words with their definitions? So pause the video and complete that now, please. Our Connect 6 questions. I'd like you to answer them in full sentences, please. And as usual, if you're struggling with any of the questions, first of all, look back at the previous videos. And if you're still really struggling, then please email your history teacher. So pause the video and complete that now, please. Our timeline. Again, we are in the period between 1066 and 1948. We're mainly looking at the 19th century today with focus on the Irish famine. We're going to see how the role of the economy and a famine led to lots of the Irish migrating both to Britain but also to lots of other places around the world like the USA. So for the next few slides, what you need to do, you can see this information in the bottom left of your screen. You need to read the text, the information on the screen, and if you don't know what any of the words mean, then can you Google that definition, find it in a dictionary and write that down. That will really improve your vocabulary and make sure that you understand everything. So I'm going to slowly move through these slides. You'll want to pause the video as I go and read the information, the text on the screen. There's also a couple of pictures to help you pick out some of the details from that text. So what made Irish people want to leave their homeland? Read this slide. Pause the video and read this slide. Again, write down any words that you don't know and find their definitions. So for the next three slides, it's the same again, but with a slightly different focus. So we're looking at what was life like for Irish migrants. So read the information, and again, if any words are not clear or you don't know what they mean, then do write them down and find their definitions. So pause the video, read the information, and also use the pictures, or in this case the diagram of Britain, to help you work out the information. So we're going to move on to some source work now. The source is in the top right of the screen. You can see that it's a picture with some annotations. You've also got a caption underneath it, and that's an illustration of people in a typical street scene in Skibbereen during the Great Famine in Ireland. It was published in the Illustrated London News, so a British magazine, in 1847. And there's two tasks I want you to complete here using that source in the top right of your screen. The first is, which claim about the 1840s below does the source support? And explain your choice. So which of those three bullet points under question 1 does this source best support? Write your answer in a full sentence. Maybe pause the video now. And then question 2, a few details are labelled in the source, so the annotations. Can you match up the labels to the bullet points below question 2 to show which ones they match to learn about the Great Famine in Ireland? So there's 4 different annotations on the source, and which ones do those match up to of the bullet points under question 2? Maybe draw the bullet points, write the bullet points on the left hand side of your page and then the annotations on the right hand side and match them up. Pause the video and complete that now. So we're going to finish off with a little bit of source work as well. 3 sources, source A, B and C. Your first task is on the top right of your screen. Write down 2 headings, push and pull. under each, you need to note down the factors that made people want to leave Ireland, push factors, and then also the factors that made them want to come to Britain, so the pull factors. We've done this before in previous lessons, so that should be fairly straightforward. But if there's anything is unclear, I've done one for you in the pull factor column. Source C, where the Irish were willing to live in England's poorer housing. And then I've given you clues as to how many more you might want to put under push and pull, and where you might be able to find them. So have a go at that and pause the video now. Now for this demonstrate task, you'll need to use the 3 sources on the previous slide. So you might need to go back in the video and switch between the 2 slides. But using those sources, A, B and C, you need to look at source A, task 1, and explain what you can see in this source and what this might tell you about why people left Ireland. So you'll need to look back at the previous slide, source A, and then write a couple of sentences, maybe a paragraph, about what you can see in the source and why people might have left Ireland. And then the second task, you need to look at the other 2 sources, source B and source C. What did those sources suggest life was like when the Irish, who were quite poor, did migrate to Britain? I want you to write 1 paragraph in answer to question 2. So pause the video and complete that demonstrate task, please. So to finish off lesson 7, a quick consolidate, 6 questions. I'd like you to answer them in full sentences, please. And then once you've finished, remember to send your work to your history teacher by uploading it to Teams. That would be the best way you can do it. But if you're still struggling with Teams, then just make sure you email them, and make sure you email the correct history teacher, please.